With your latest news, I'm April Cummings. Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee reports 500 COVID-19 tests carried out since Friday. There are 8 positives from those 500. The individuals are travelers who tested positive following routine screening. 1 has symptoms of COVID-19. The other 7 are asymptomatic. They will all remain in isolation until considered recovered. The total number of people in isolation right now, 691. An update now on the national vaccination program for COVID-19 with 9,143 vaccines administered to date. 1,545 of those represent an individual's second dose. While officials say there is still some data to be collected, the initial calculations indicate around 57% of those aged 70 and over, and 46 of those aged 60 and over have received at least 1 vaccination dose. A bill addressing specific issues related to mental health patients, including emergency detention orders and protective custody, will be heading to lawmakers soon. More from Radio Cayman's Carsley Fuller.
The Mental Health Amendment Bill 2021 is the first bill published this year, and if passed, it will amend the Mental Health Act 2013 to clarify the procedure relating to emergency detention orders, provide for orders for protective custody, and allow restrictions on access to electronic networks by patients. For example, Clause 4 of the bill proposes a new subsection for the existing mental health law relating specifically to protective custody. Quote, if a medical officer is of the opinion that a person is or may be suffering from a mental impairment or serious mental illness, the officer may make an order for protective custody in the prescribed form, directing a constable to A, take the person into protective custody, and B, with all reasonable dispatch, but no later than 12 hours after the person has been taken into protective custody, bring the person before a medical doctor to be examined. The proposed new subsections also clarify the procedure relating to emergency detention orders, which can provide for the detention of the person in a hospital or other place of safety for up to 72 hours. Clause 8 of the bill replaces the existing Act Section 16, keeping the current provisions on postal restrictions in the Principal Act, but factoring in recent technological advances in the use of electronic networks. So if a medical officer is of the opinion that access to any electronic network may have an adverse effect on the patient, that access can be denied, a decision that could then be reviewed by the Mental Health Commission within 7 days if the patient or a near relative appeals it. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Carsley Fuller.
You can find the full amendment bill online at legislation.gov.ky. One person is in the hospital following a 2-vehicle collision on Shamrock Road Saturday night. Police say just before 7 p.m. they got a report of the crash involving a Ford Escape and a Kawasaki motorcycle near Whistling Way. The rider of the motorcycle was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The driver of the Ford wasn't hurt. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Traffic and Roads Policing Unit. The number is 649-6254, or you can call the Georgetown Police Station at 949-4222. If someone stole items from your car between January 29th and 30th, police are asking you to give them a call at the Georgetown Police Station. The number again, 949-4222. This after Saturday's arrest of a 44-year-old Georgetown man caught with money and currency and was due to appear in court today. Police have arrested a 30-year-old Georgetown man suspected of leaving the scene of an accident on Sunday, January 24th. Police were on patrol near Yacht Drive roundabout when they say they saw a white Chevy Equinox headed south in the northbound lane at a high speed, heading toward oncoming traffic. Officers say they tried to stop the vehicle. They turned on their lights and sirens, but the vehicle kept going, so they went back to their post. A short time later, officers were called out by 911 to a 2-vehicle collision on West Bay Road in the vicinity of Kintyre Drive. The Equinox had collided with a white Chevy Silverado. The driver of the Equinox was taken to the hospital for treatment. The driver of the Silverado wasn't hurt but was arrested on suspicion of DUI. On Sunday, police arrested a Georgetown man in connection with the incident. He has been bailed pending further investigation. Government signs on the dotted line for the completion of construction for the Baden Town Church of God Multipurpose Hall on Shamrock Road. Radio Cayman's Paula Cal has the details.
The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has selected Edgewater Development Limited as contractor for the project. The proposed works will include the partial demolition and alteration of an existing building as well as the completion of construction of approximately 14,058 gross square feet of unfinished building and other ancillary facility. Government says once completed, the building will function as a hurricane-grade shelter, which will be fitted with hurricane-rated specification for the roof covering and framing, doors, windows, electrical installation, including a standby generator, air conditioning, and liquefied petroleum gas provision. The building, if only used for sitting and standing, will accommodate a capacity of 441 people. If the building is used for bed and cots only, the capacity is 220 people. And where the building is used for a mixture of standing, sitting, and bed cots, the estimated capacity is at 330 people. The projected duration for the $2.55 million contract is 7 months. For Radio Cayman News, I'm Paula Cal.
2 civic centers in the eastern districts may soon be getting a facelift. The government has posted 2 sets of bids for center flooring upgrades and center stage and ceiling refinishing at both the north side and east end civic centers. The projects are described as builders' work to make preparation for new furniture. The works will include painting, demolition of walls, the installation of new walls, doors, and fixed windows, along with the removal of carpet patch flooring if needed. The bids close at midnight on February 4th. Literacy is for Everyone collaborates with Walkers and the Ministry for Youth Education, Sports, Agriculture, and Lands. Radio Cayman's Felicia Rankin-Solins has more.
High schools across the Cayman Islands will be receiving brand new updated CSEC English Matters textbooks after charity organization Life partners with Maysal and law firm Walkers.
Thanks to generous funding from Walkers, we were able to get a total of 781 books. We got top-up sort of sponsorship from the Ministry of Education, who really made sure that every single student in Key Stage 4 across the government schools could receive their own personal copy of these beautifully updated books.
Juliet Austin, Executive Director at Life, says these textbooks will be an essential asset to students.
First of all, because they're a newly designed, they're updated, they're a colour edition, but probably the most important thing about them is that they take account of all the amendments to the current English syllabus. So these are books that are tailored kind of expressly to the Caribbean, to the CSEC English Matters textbooks. So the content and the references are all updated.
High-performing Year 8 students enrolled in accelerated programs in government high schools are also set to receive the textbooks.
They've got new chapters dedicated to school-based assessments and building these skills throughout. There's a new chapter, probably most importantly, dedicated to exam preparation. And each of the chapters, they have these end-of-unit reviews, so it's this lovely incremental building of skills and study tips.
Teachers will also receive free English Matters PDF books to give educators the latest edition teaching resources. For Radio Cayman News, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
The aim is to deliver textbooks by early March to Don Gray High School, Clifton Hunter High, SciFec, and Lehman Scott High School in Cayman Brac.
My most outstanding achievement today is becoming a young entrepreneur throughout my business. I make hand resin art, I'm an event planner, and I make custom-made keychains, custom tumblers, custom everything.
Tonight we feature Kianda Parchment as a 2021 Proud of Them honoree for her achievements in business.
I feel proud and honored to be selected as a Proud of Them honoree because it's a heartwarming feeling to know that other people see my true potential, and it's a great feeling and to see my face on the billboard.
You can see Kianda's billboard and the other Proud of Them honorees across Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac. You can also see her profile in full by visiting the Cayman Islands Youth Services YouTube channel. That is your latest local news from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm April Cummings.